that was like, vote for Trump. He's tall. And it was like,
he says he's like 6'2". Do you think he's actually 6'2"?
I don't know.
You think Trump could ever?
Maybe it's an anti-assassination measure.
Do you think there's ever been a president who could dunk?
Shaq?
Oh, Shaq. That's never been the president of the United States. I know Abe Lincoln was like 6'5", but there's no way he had anything even resembling ups.
You didn't think it was funny that I was like, him saying he's 6'2" is an anti-assassination measure? Because it's like assassins are planning for a 6'2" target.
Oh,
so then they're
aiming too high?
Yeah, they're aiming too high.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, maybe
that's why I say I'm 5'7", so everyone aims too low.
Well,
because I'm 6'2". Yeah, they're aiming for my stomach. It's bad still.
Yeah,
it's bad, but I'm trying to throw them off the scent.
Yeah, I tell them my incorrect width so that they miss me.
Yeah. You tell them what, 27-inch waist?
Sure.
Yeah, you go up 2 inches.
I don't know what a big waist or a small waist is.
For a man, 27 is very small.
I see. Oh, yeah. I'm like 29.
Yeah. Oh, well, you're an inch bigger than you were a couple weeks ago.
No, I've always been 29.
You were 28. You were 28 a couple weeks ago. Trust me, I know your pant size.
Yeah.
I'm in there. Like swimwear. I'm sniffing. I'm snoofing.
But I saw one of those ads where it's Trump and they're like, Kamala's America is for they, them. Trump's America is for you. I was like, whoa.
Wow.
I was like, whoa.
Wow.
I was like, what an almost satirical ad.
That is, as much as I hate to say it, that's pretty good. If you're going to be a right-wing grifter, that's pretty good. Because you can't be like, oh, it's for he, him, or she. And then you can't be like he, him, she, her. That's too long. That doesn't have like advertising appeal. You, pretty good.
Yeah.
But like also, what if you is they, them?
They were cooking regardless.
Okay. Yeah. That's advertising.
Shut up.
This marketing agency's going crazy. That's what you get for watching cable.
Yeah, that's what I get for watching YouTube TV.
You have ads on YouTube? Oh, all I watch on YouTube TV is Red Zone. So I don't have ads on Red Zone.
We're watching like all the sports right now. Like baseball is going on.
Oh, you're watching like the NLDS?
Yeah.
I forget you have like a little me living in your house.
Yeah.
You have like a little slick back version of me that lives with you.
It's funny because when YouTube TV doesn't have anyone buying ad spots, they play shark footage. They play like an Adult Swim bumper. Like you expect Adult Swim to pop up after a few seconds. Okay. Like it'll be like, just relax. Like it literally says like, sit back and relax. And it's just footage of sharks.
It's like, hey man, I'm watching TV. I'm not like, I'm not tensed up over here.
It's like
I'm watching fucking the Raiders play San Francisco.
Yeah. It's very funny.
That's awesome. I also just recently got YouTube TV, and wow, is it expensive. It's
Yeah.
like $70 a month, and that is absurd.
It's an outrageous amount of money.
Just have cable.
Yeah.
Just have cable again. But that's not even the cold open we want to do.
Okay.
Well, that's not even cut all that.
Cut it. Cut the last 80-ish episodes. Delete them.
You know what? Clean slate.
Yep.
We're doing the Scoober Doober podcast off the rip.
Hell yeah.
That's what we do every year and a half. We start a new podcast. We just like people like they're like, hey, what are they gonna do next? Brandon Sanderson.
Yeah. I don't know if we've even confirmed whether or not anyone likes the Scooby-Doo bits, but boy, do I love
TikToks
them.
keep doing well.
Yeah, TikTok likes it.
Yeah, so I mean, that's all that matters to me. That's the numbers, baby. That app that doesn't pay us. That's the numbers. So Danny has officially lost it, ladies and gentlemen. It's we knew it was a long time coming. I'd like to say I've known Danny a little over 2 years now, and I watched him grow, and losing him like this has been.
Where are my marbles?
Has been. Oh yeah,
I'm doing.
I was you Googleizing you son of a bitch. So Danny losing him like this has been. It's been really tough on me. Specifically me, nobody else, because nobody else loved him quite like I did. But we did cremate him like he wanted. I do have a small Tupperware container of his ashes in my room. No, when I say he's lost it, I mean Danny is officially committed to fighting me.
Okay, there we go.
Physically,
I was like, I died.
Yes, you're dead. It would be like the third time we've announced.
Like, what do you mean I died?
Yoinks! I'm seeing the back of my body, Scoob.
There's a very narrow window in every podcast when you're ready for a Shacky bit.
Yeah, there's not good. It's not. Mine is not nearly as good as yours.
I know when I'm in that window when you say yoinks instead of yikes.
Yep. Like I said, it's not my impersonation.
That's okay.
I'm just feeding off. But yeah,
What's an impersonation you like doing?
Oh, we're skipping over the you're gonna fight me.
I was gonna go back
thing.
to it, but
okay. An impersonation I like to do. I do a really good Jamaican one. I got
checkmate.
I got a great Stephen He impersonation. Okay. No, but that's Patreon content.
Wow, knight takes rook.
No, I'm gonna say I do a great Australian.
Yeah, you do.
I do. It's the beauty of a good Australian accent is you just go slower.
Yeah.
You just talk slow. You can't talk fast with an Australian accent.
Yeah.
It's great.
You could do a great New Zealander because New Zealanders are just nice Australians.
Yeah, because they're the ones that the Australians are racist towards.
Right.
So it's like a whole thing. It's like a whole thing because they call them. Still don't really understand that one because they're like fruits.
They're always just saying nonsense words.
They're just words.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, that's Meng or something, or I don't know. They just say words.
Just start guessing at Australian slurs.
It's also the most infectious accent. Like anybody who I ever know goes to live there for a little bit, comes back with one. I'm like, don't do that.
Yeah,
don't do that.
Leave that there.
Stick to your fucking guns.
Yeah.
You had an American accent, the greatest English accent out of all of them. You don't have to be like, oh, my chips and mash, or like you talk about like fucking shrimps on Barbies. You have an American accent. You give that up.
Yeah.
American accent, speaking English, that's being born on third. That's as good as an accent as it gets.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You like an American accent?
American accent's as good as it gets.
I like a British accent.
Yeah, because you want... No, listen, there was a time in my life where I was like, ooh, women with British... No, I'm over it. Yeah. I'm over it.
I like a Long Island accent, which I know is divisive. It's a divisive comment, for sure.
I was going to say, there's two accents in America you don't want, and it's New York and Boston.
I like Long Island. Well, that is New York. You're right. But Long Island's different from a New York accent.
It's the sick borough. I don't know. I don't know what this. I don't know.
Anyway,
I'm trying. I'm getting there. Am I honing in? To the moon, Alice. I'm trying to land on it.
Doing an accent.
I'm just screaming.
Yeah, I know.
That's kind of the Long Island accent.
Yeah.
It's like you put on a wife beater, you get on your front porch, and you yell.
Yeah, you say mirror instead of mirror.
Oh, you know what it is? Worst American accent? Joycey.
Joycey's
bad.
Yeah, that's fair. I kind of hate Boston.
Water.
Yeah, you do say water.
Water or some shit. Fucking gross.
Yeah, it is gross. Yeah, it's probably the worst one. I really like what's Fargo? Like
Oh, that's like Minnesota.
Yeah,
North
like
Dakota.
a Minnesota. Those are fun to listen to.
Yeah, Cargo.
Yeah, Cargo.
Yeah, you got the coffee. Yeah. And it's basically like it's like Saskatchewan. It's like Canadian accent.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway,
there's a lot of good American accents.
I'm gonna fight you.
You're gonna fight me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I figured we were gonna do power rank American accents first, and then we would get to the fight.
Sure.
I say we just keep kicking the fight thing down. Like we have the retention. Like,
until at the end of the episode, I just kick your ass.
Yeah, you just like push my teeth down my throat.
Yeah.
No. Danny's gonna fight me. For those of you who don't know, pay attention more often. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Me and Danny have another channel called AnimieIRL, which is now pumped out 1 at how I hit myself with the card. I watched Wolverine and Deadpool, and now I was like, oh, I'm about to make a name for myself. Yeah, that's me. So this is my Gambit.
Don't
bit.
throw that at me.
This is my Gambit bit. And so me and Danny run another channel called AnimieIRL, and on AnimieIRL, next Anime Expo season in LA, which is July 4th-ish, we are going to be doing a gigantic, probably the biggest video either of us will ever produce video for AnimieIRL, which is going to be a take on chess boxing, a sport that was created in Russia and then popularized in the West by Ludwig because he did a big event for it. We're going to be doing, instead of chess boxing, anime debate boxing. So 2 people are going to have an anime debate. They're going to be like, oh, Saitama versus Goku. One of them is arguing for Saitama. The other is arguing for Goku. And they have 2 minutes to debate their topics against each other, and then 1.5 minutes to fight, and then 2 minutes to debate, and then 1.5 minutes to fight, then 2 minutes to debate, and 1.5 minutes to fight, and then it finishes if it gets through 3 rounds of boxing, which it won't. These are weebs we're talking about, with one last round of debate.
Yeah.
So whoever you want to A, do good in the debate, and B, do good in the boxing. Yeah. The whole thing is going to be like pointed out like equally, right? So like, if you're winning points in the debate, it's like on a 5, it's on a 7, it's basically a 7-round boxing match, but the verbal debate part also acts as a boxing round.
Yeah, and there's a lot of different strategies you could go into this with, because if study.
You can study up on anime.
You can study up on anime.
We're
for sure.
gonna know our topics before the debate, so you could study up on Saitama, Goku, whoever you're debating about.
Yeah, you have plenty of time to study. You also have plenty of time to train.
Yep.
And if you maybe aren't the best linguist, if you never took debate in high school, you're not very good at debating. If you put your opponent on his ass in like the first round, there's not a lot anyone can say to prove you wrong.
Win the fight. You don't have to win the debate. That's the beauty of it. And there's going to be some situations where somebody's getting absolutely fucking cooked in like the debate. And in the third round of boxing, their coach is going to pull them over and be like, I cannot believe you said that Goku's feats were this, such, and that. You got to knock this kid out. You got to put him on his ass.
That's my favorite part about this idea is that two people go in and one guy can be like, Naruto's way stronger than Goku. And the Goku guy could put up a really good argument, but then if the Naruto guy knocks him out, we all have to be like, Naruto's stronger than Goku.
That's the beauty of it. Might makes right.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the idea. And so we're aiming for 5 fights.
Yeah.
It's going to be about like an hour long. We're going to do it as a live event. We're going to have some breaks. We're going to have anime cause girl ring girls, maybe anime guy ring guys. And we're planning on doing it in LA the weekend of Anime Expo. We're going to be either selling or handing out tickets. I think what would be best is we'll probably end up making like a Patreon for AnimieIRL. By that point, we'll probably give tickets to all Patreon members.
Wow.
I think that would be a good incentive. Like, hey, like you get to come to our live event if you're a Patreon member.
Yeah, that's hype.
And so then we're just going to have 4 rounds where 4 different rounds of debaters debating topics. And then the last round, the title card fight, is tentatively penned for me versus Danny. And the reason I say tentatively penned...
because Nick is scared.
Is not because Nick is scared, is because Nick weighs 50 more pounds than Danny. And so...
and he's shaking in those big-ass boots.
Oh, yeah, we have the same foot size. But we are both small men. I am just wider than you are. Danny weighs conservatively 125 pounds.
And getting smaller.
Yeah.
I mean, bigger.
Yeah, there we go. I weigh somewhere close to 170.
Yeah.
I've worked out for the last probably 15 years. Danny...
since you're 10?
I'm 28 since I was 13, freshman year of high school.
Rats.
Yeah, we're old. Yeah, you forget how old we
dead.
are. Yeah, and I boxed for 10 years. So...
I've worked out on and off since sophomore year of high school.
On and off.
Yeah.
I've worked out 4 to 5 times a week for the last 15 years.
And he's washed up.
Yeah, I am. Well, okay, he is right. I have not boxed in also a decade.
And I think we were talking about this before we started the podcast. You shouldn't get to train.
I'm gonna lose. I have to lose weight.
Well, you lose weight, but
Okay.
I'm getting in November 1st, I'm going to actually get a boxing coach and I'm going to learn how to box. And I beg that you don't do the same.
Okay. So I'm not allowed to get back in a boxing gym.
You're suggested not to.
I'm suggested not to. A good
You're
way to
advised.
lose. A good way to get lose weight would be get in a boxing gym, though.
Yeah. That's interesting. That's a good point.
Yeah.
I'm going to advise against it.
I could absolutely lose. I'm probably closer to 175 right now. I need to lose 20 pounds. 10 of those pounds is water.
Yeah.
Like for the weigh-in, I can absolutely lose 8 pounds of water weight. So I need to lose realistically 13 to 14 pounds before July, which is a fucking cakewalk.
Yeah, this could be because I've never had to lose weight. I do think my journey is going to be significantly more difficult.
It's not.
To gain weight.
It's not going to be more difficult.
No, than losing weight?
You have to gain 30 pounds by July. That's not hard at all.
Then losing...
You're not going to put on 30 pounds of muscle. I'll tell you that right now.
Well,
30 pounds of muscle?
well.
Not without steroids, friend.
Nick, I'm already 70% Soylent. So.
Yeah. Soylent is not exactly a mass gainer,
And that
Dan.
translates straight to muscle.
So I think you could probably put in feasibly by July, so that's 9 months from now, 15 to 20 pounds of muscle if you fucking busted your ass.
Yeah. Ass busting.
Yeah.
I'm
If you got on a diet plan,
Yep.
and if you got like actually in the gym 5 to 6 times a week, you could put on 20 pounds max. You're gonna have to put on 10 to 15. You can also come into the fight underweight. That's not penalized.
Yeah.
You're allowed to be underweight. You're not allowed to be overweight.
Right.
So I have the harder role because I'm in 155 in 2 years.
just stop eating.
I'm effectively going to do that. Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't like.
See that, but that's what I mean. Like for me, at least, I can stop eating like it's nothing.
Yeah.
Like, I would be so good on Survivor, other than the fact that I have an insufferable personality, and I'd be voted off immediately.
That's my thing. You got to play it in the middle, though. You got to be like, hey, that's pretty cool, man. And you feel like you can't identify yourself as a threat. I've been thinking a lot about getting on game shows recently.
We so need to be on Wipeout so soon.
It's Wipeout or, what do we say, American Ninja Warrior.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't last a fucking second on
Wipeout
American
was the better,
Ninja Warrior.
it's absolutely the better choice.
Yeah.
Wait, was that it? No, we were saying we needed to
No,
get
it was
on
a
Wipeout.
different thing.
It was like, it wasn't, it was it like a reality TV show? It was like The Circle or some shit.
No, what was it? Yeah, we were like, we
mop up on The Circle.
We should both be on this thing. Yeah, we were doing Wheel of Fortune, but it wasn't Wheel of Fortune.
Oh, no, I don't need to be on Wheel of Fortune.
What was the other thing we did? Weebs? No, not that. No, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't like American Ninja Warrior, right? But anyway.
Yeah.
I've been working out a lot. I've been eating a lot of calories. Well, I haven't been eating a lot of calories. I've been drinking a lot of calories.
There we go.
Yeah, I've been drinking.
Quickest way to get them down.
I've been drinking these shakes that are like 780 calories.
You're on a mass gainer.
I am on a mass gainer.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a step in the right direction.
I'm not on serious mass.
Okay.
Because
those are like 1,080 calories. They're fucking gross.
Yeah, and it's a ton of sugar. I'm on this thing Chris advised me to do called, I don't know, fucking pay me and I'll tell you, I guess. Not you guys, the sponsor.
Or you could also pay him and he'll like probably
pay me, I'll tell you.
Like you said, send Daddy $1, he'll DM you.
Yeah, just ask me, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
It's called like True Lab or something. But anyway, it's like a cleaner, like Chris told me that it's cleaner than most.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been doing that, and yeah, just living my best.
Danny's just trying to monetize getting in shape. That's all he's trying to do. Yeah. The reason he wants to fight me is not because he wants to fight. It's probably a little bit because he wants to fight me, but it's also because
I just want to be Big Dan.
Yeah, he wants to be Big Dan.
I'm so excited for December. Obviously, I'm not going to be like noticeably huge.
Yeah.
But I think I'll gain enough weight and be lean enough that when I go home for December, I have another thing to flex on the people I went to high school with.
There we go. You're going to physically flex on them.
Everything I do is for revenge and sex.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm going to start losing weight like May.
Yeah. Yeah.
June, maybe. I can lose 50.
In July?
I can lose 50 pounds in 3 months. I've done it twice.
We'll see.
Yeah. I can do it. It's very easy.
Listen, whether you're like in my weight class or not, I'm fighting a Nick.
Yeah.
If it's not you, I'll find a different
You'll
one.
find a separate, you'll find the Nick that we got for Guess a Weeb Part 2.
Yeah, I'm fighting someone.
Yeah.
That's for damn sure.
What are you gonna do after the fight though? You're gonna be so lost.
I've also thought about that. Maybe I'll just love boxing. Wouldn't that be crazy?
We could do a yearly thing to be like, hey, Dan's the fight card until he's 35.
Yeah, maybe I'll just be like, you know what? I'm done with this anime stuff. I like boxing.
You know what we do? We just like if you win against me by some divine miracle. Like I get shot in the head
by raw charisma and talent.
Yeah,
you mean?
If I get shot in the head in the ring or something. What is every year the newest up and coming reaction YouTuber? You'll just fight them. And just be like, take Danny Motta's page. If you win, if you open weight class.
Yeah,
I like the idea of you getting to like 195 and just like beating down some 120 pound like goth boyfriend. It's like just fucking like you want to take what's mine.
I would do that. I'd do those stakes.
We can get you on. Steroids are legal in Mexico.
Are they illegal in America?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I thought they were just frowned upon.
You have to get them like prescribed to you.
Dude, we're so close to Mexico.
Oh, we're very close to Mexico.
Imagine. I'm already so full of hatred. Yep. Imagine me on steroids.
It would be a lot.
It'd be awesome.
I'm experiencing you on like energy and food right now. And
just a natural health.
It's a new Danny. I didn't realize the entirety of the time I've known you, I've been dealing with like husk, like blinking red health bar Danny.
I know. I came in and I was just pacing and chatting, and Nick was like, "You good?
Yeah,
what's up?"
He's like genuinely like, he's like glowing. He's smiling. He was like literally just walking around. He's like, man, I've been thinking about this fight. I've been working out 5 to 6 times. He's like, I didn't realize like how much I needed to eat. And he's like, I've been eating Soylent for breakfast every single morning. But then I had chicken Alfredo and I didn't feel good. And I was like, this is the first time your gut microbiome has ever been like, hey man, I think we're doing good. Like,
yeah, my gut's just like, is that a fucking vitamin?
Was that a banana? My God, is that
a goddamn mineral in here?
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna fight, and it's gonna be a great, grandiose old time. So if you want to see me and Danny fight, come to LA in July for Anime Expo.
I'm so excited. Realistically, what would happen? and I'm not saying this is a realistic scenario, but be honest and genuine.
Yeah.
What would happen if I just like took you down in the first 30 seconds? What would you do afterwards with your career, with your self-esteem?
If you knocked me out in the first 30 seconds of a headgear boxing match.
If I just like swept the boxing
All right,
portion.
question for you. Do you want headgear? Do you want to wear headgear?
Probably. Let me get this trainer first and see what boxing is like. But probably.
I'm telling you right now at 155.
Yeah.
Mind you, when I rehydrate, I'll be 163, 164 in the rink.
Like the sponge you are.
That's how it works. At 155, if you knock me out with headgear on, I'll move to Thailand. I will literally never be seen or heard from again. That's
all I wanted to know.
You will never have the power at 155 pounds to knock me out with headgear.
Look, not a knockout, but like the boxing games equivalent of a knockout. You know, like I assume if we should probably do like X amount of knockdowns, right?
Well, the rules are 3 knockdowns.
Yeah, so
in
if
a
I
round.
win in the first round,
I feel like you want an answer from
this
me
is
here.
such a far off concept in your head that you don't even have a scenario.
This is not even something I've considered. Like my entire process is don't hurt Danny that bad.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have such a fantasy in my head of me pulling like.
I don't like how you fantasize. I'm telling you right now, my idea entering that ring is not to hurt you, and you are telling me your distended, I'm going to injure Nick fantasies.
What do you think gets my ass in the gym every day?
I don't like how much vitriol you're aiming at me here.
I have a fantasy that I run every day in the gym.
Yep.
Where you go to take your first punch, and I pull this like JoJo sidestep and just uppercut you immediately.
Yep. Yeah.
And that's, I think, what's going to happen.
A lot of power in one of these. A lot of
I put
of
my
power.
whole bussy.
Your whole 150-pound Danusi into that one.
Danusi.
Yeah, that's gonna be. You know what? If it gets you big, Dan, I love that for you.
Thanks. Either that's my fantasy, or my other fantasy is that like you get in, you still have this mentality where you're like, look, I'm not gonna hurt you. Like we'll do this, we'll have some fun, we'll do a show, it'll be fine. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. And then I turn around and I'm like, lend me your energy. And I'm like doing this big WWE thing. And I get off, turn around, and I wake up in a hospital.
Your 2 sounds, my fist hitting your face and your face hitting the ground.
Yeah.
Also, even if I am truly washed up in boxing and you're just hosing me, it's an anime debate, Dan.
Yeah.
It's we're doing 2 things that are my backyard.
You're fucked.
Those are Danny, if there's an event that I was built for, it's this event because I built it.
I'm so scrappy. Mm-hmm. I got so much spunk. I got moxie.
Yep.
I got gumption.
You realize it's not a crowd vote, right? Here's you want to know my dream for this?
Tell me your dream, then we should talk about anime.
My dream for this fight is that it goes the distance. You're all banged up. You're beaten. You're like Rocky and Rocky 1.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my God, I did it. We're in the last round. You're wheezy. You're like, no, Goku would kiss Saitama. And the crowd, the judges know I've come out victorious, but the crowd's on your side. And they're like, Danny, Danny, Danny. And then the judge holds my hand up. No applause. Like, boo, boo. Yeah. And then you walk up and you're like, yeah. The crowd's like, yeah, Danny. I want you to be the people's victor. I want Rocky 1 for you.
The way I'm going to have such a WWE shouting match with you just before the fight.
Yeah.
Like with the little come down mics.
Come down mic, yeah. We're going to we need like $20,000.
Yeah, well.
We need so much money. I have to kiss a couple of pairs of boots in the next couple of days, in the upcoming days.
I think best case scenario for the channel, for my reputation, for you, I die in the ring.
Yeah.
I think that's the best. Genuinely, that's my
you die
dream.
in the anime debate.
Yeah.
that's way better. It was like
my heart just stops before the fight.
Yeah. Just isekai immediately.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be great.
Like a light falls on me.
Yeah.
I do
I love the idea of just it's everything eviscerated, but your 2 boxing gloves are out from under the light, and somebody just pulls them off you. It's like, show's gotta go on.
We're just standing there. The light comes down. My boxing gloves are just like in the air for a second. Like Richard's just holding them.
I love the idea of like, your legs sticking out and like curling up. Honestly, if that happened to you, how long do you think it would take people to be like, all right, like is it a bit? Like how long do you think it would take people to be like, oh fuck, he's actually dead? Would it be the pool of blood?
I don't know if there's anything you could say. Like you're like, this isn't a joke. He's dead. I think that only spark it.
Yeah, people would just be like, yeah, okay,
Yeah,
like,
sure.
please.
I think a crowd member would have to come up and rip my arm off from under the thing.
Oh, it's gonna be
Anyway.
great. You know what? Let's make a bet.
Yeah.
Let's make a bet. Let's make it interesting.
Okay.
Loser has to get the other person's name tattooed on them.
I don't want to do
Come on! Come on!
my inaugural tattoo to this thing. You already think I'll lose at every avenue of?
All right, fine. Loser chooses a tattoo for the other person.
Let me get like a month into with this boxing coach
Okay,
and
all
see
right.
if there's even a chance
There'll
of me
be
winning a
adjustable
fight.
terms on
Yeah.
this. I'm very excited. This is gonna be great. You know what? Maybe I will get back in the gym.
I feel like my inaugural tattoo can't be another man's name.
Oh, it absolutely can be. I'd put your name on my body in a heartbeat.
You have a million tattoos.
I have like 12.
You have a billion.
Nah, probably like 17 actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But there's a lot of anime to talk about.
Yeah, and we
That
blew an hour.
That 26
Half an
minutes,
hour,
people
yeah.
love it. People love it. They're living for it. All right, so we basically have. I'm going to run down everything that we watched this week. Everything that we're going to be, at least everything that we're going to be keeping up with this season.
Did you watch Mecha whatever? No. The arm one? I meant to. I'm gonna this week.
Yeah, so there's a lot of anime coming out this season. It's a very good season. So Blue Lock season 2 is coming out. Did you ever see the Nagi movie?
No, we should.
Neither did I.
Let's do a Patreon. thing
Apparently,
with it.
that's a really good idea. That's a really good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, that we can find illegally. That we can absolutely find it. A Scooby-Doo movie illegally.
Tough.
Who's wasting the? I actually can absolutely get you that movie. I'm now realizing.
I thought it'd be
I have
on...
a pirating software I can help you use.
Whoa. Huge.
I'm a pirate. We also have Uzumaki. Now, Uzumaki, we're already halfway through the season. This is the second out of 4 episodes. So you have 2 more weeks of Uzumaki, and then that's it. We have DanDaDan, which dropped its first episode, and then there is TYBW, which Danny isn't watching.
No.
But
I'm
it's
just
for
not
3,
caught up.
and I'll keep you updated on what happened because I love it.
Yeah?
Yes.
The episode came out? You loved it?
Yeah, it's on Hulu. And then there was also, this week, there was the final episode of MHA.
Who knows? Whoever knows. I don't think so. This one doesn't feel like a final episode.
Which is weird because the last one absolutely did and probably should have been the final episode because every other anime ended last week.
Yeah.
So MHA is just going to run till it's over, I think.
Maybe.
I think we're just going to get to the ending.
Yeah.
Because we're not like that far from it.
It doesn't feel like it.
Yeah.
We've gotten 2 of the major protagonists down.
Yeah. Antagonists.
Yeah. Who else? Shigaraki. All for One.
All for One he's flying right now. He's like baby All for One.
And that's it.
Shigaraki's in a battle against Deku.
Spinner's done.
Spinner's done. Toga's done.
Yeah.
Dobby's done.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally just All for One Shigaraki. Surprise, surprise. They take a while to beat.
Yeah.
But so what do you want to talk about first? You want to talk about My Hero?
Let's talk about Bleach if you want to talk about Bleach. Like, do the ones I haven't done.
You should watch Bleach.
I want to. Guess what? The Bleach video game coming out looks awesome.
It's got like some like ice name or something, right?
It's like it's just Naruto like Ninja Storm.
Yeah.
But Bleach.
It's Rebirth of Souls. That's what it is.
It's like just gorgeous. It looks fun.
Yeah.
I love the prospect of like diving into one of these fighting games and I don't know most of the characters. Like that's super exciting to me.
It's like Sparking. It's not Sparking Zero. What's the one that just came out? Is it Sparking
Zero?
Yeah, it's like that. We're like, I wish the characters like scaled to how powerful they were in universe, and you're just going off aesthetics, and you're getting just like fucking like Espada 3. You know, like you're just getting some absolute nobody.
They kind of scale.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
In Sparking Zero or
in Sparking Zero.
Yeah, they scale. Isn't that the whole idea?
I see.
That they
Yeah.
scale?
Well, exactly. In Sparking Zero, it's like Gogeta. Like they're not balanced.
Yeah.
They're balanced like canonically.
Yeah. I've seen some people giving some work with Chiaotzu.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
Chiaotzu's finishing move is
Yeah.
exploding on you,
Yeah.
which is awesome.
Dude, if you're good, that's why it's so fun that it's not balanced.
Yeah.
Because you'll have your friend roll up with like Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, and you just want to be Yajirobe.
Yeah.
And they're like, dude, pick someone actually real. And you're like, bitch, if you can't beat me, then like you don't deserve to play
It's
this
like
game.
piecing him up with Hercule.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, because he couldn't fly in the first
Yeah.
one, right? So
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
like if you beat somebody with Hercule, it was like, wow, that's massively disrespectful.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, yeah, it'd be cool if they did that.
You
with
need to
Bleach.
watch Bleach because you would love. All right, so you know how you were like, oh, the thing I love about My Hero Academia is how cool I like how cool the powers are, and I like how Horikoshi uses them. And he's like, oh, there's like, it feels like there's limits to the powers.
Yeah.
He thinks about really unique powers and how to use them. That is what Bleach is. Like, Bleach, like, to a T, all the way to the ending of the story is like, all right, so there's a guy in the story right now. He's like a part of this thing called Squad Zero, and he's the head of Squad Zero. And his entire ability is that he controls all of the black in the universe. So anything because like inside of you there's black, because like your skin doesn't allow for light to penetrate.
So it's darkness.
Kind of.
Right.
Like he controls like all blackness. Like
But like that shirt.
like black clothing, black like shadows,
Got you.
the darkness inside of you, everything.
Yeah.
But because of that, he also like his sword is a giant pen. Okay. And so if he hits you with like after releasing his Bankai, which is the highest level of the equip, if he hits you with the ink, he's able to reassign a name to you. So like he can take your name from you and assign a name from you, and if he gives you that name, you become as strong as the thing that he gave you the name of.
What a fucking doodle bob.
Yeah, it's literally it is literally Doodle Bob, and he can erase letters from your name.
Yeah.
And if he erases letters from your name, like if my name was Nick, right, and he erased K, I'd be a quarter as strong.
Whoa.
Like I'd be a quarter weaker.
Yeah.
So like it's like a bunch of shit like that. There's like a guy called the X-axis, and his entire abilities, his arms, a gun. And like his ability is called the X-axis because the second he pulls the trigger, anything between like is an instantaneous firing, like a hit scan character in like a video game, like an instantaneous, like it's not even a projectile because it's like everything between him and the target he's aiming at gets hit.
That's so. I never knew Bleach was so like. I thought Bleach was more like Soul Eater, where it's just all the abilities are just like this weapon does a blast, and like I didn't know they were like this abstract and like Jujutsu Kaisen with it, you know?
So that's why everyone was like in the beginning, everybody was like, oh, JJK is more of a Bleach copy than it is, because everyone was like, oh, it's a Naruto copy. And I was like, it's like if you sit down and think about it, JJK is much closer to a Bleach copy than it is a Naruto copy. Once you get to Bankais and all that, like Shikai releases is just like, this sword is a snake. This sword is bigger now.
Right.
This sword is 2 swords. This sword is a gun. And like once you get to Bankais, that's where abilities start getting super unique. Like one of my favorite is like there's this guy who's blind, and his entire like his Bankai release makes this giant black tent, and all of your senses become like he like deprives anybody in this tent of all of their senses besides touch. And so he, as a blind person, is able to like cut them down because he's used to it. But they're trying to like listen and like like feel and all this and like look, and they're just getting cut down. So that's like that's a good example of like how like fleshed out Bankai are. Yeah. They're fucking awesome, dude. I love that Bleach is Black. TYBW reminded me how much I loved Bleach's manga. And like I think Bleach, out of all of the mangas of the big 3, is probably the second best. I'd say it was Naruto, Bleach, One Piece. Like it's like a really, really good dude. Bleach, listen, yeah, absolutely.
I can't believe
I would die on the hill that Bleach's manga is better than One Piece's. Yeah, it's like you need to like.
You haven't read One Piece's manga though.
I've watched
the pacing's
anime.
better, but the pacing's better. Which anime is better?
Oh, One Piece. Bleach's anime is awful. TYBW is really good. I don't think of TYBW and the first part of Bleach as the same show. Like it's just there's a decade between them.
Right.
It's Studio Pierrot decided to get their shit together and actually like the Arankar arc is awful.
But isn't One Piece's anime like dog shit in the beginning too?
No, actually the first 200, 300 episodes of One Piece is actually pretty good pacing wise, and then Togashi got sick around. No, he got sick in Dressrosa, but they decided to up. They used to release 36 episodes of One Piece a year, and that worked because at that point Oda was releasing something like 42 or 44 chapters of One Piece a year. So the manga was like getting ahead of the anime. And then the anime got so popular, they're like, we need to release a weekly episode, except like Christmas, Easter, or some other ones. So there's 48 episodes of One Piece a year now. And there's like something like 40 chapters, because like Oda got older, so we can't produce as much manga, but the anime is not made by Oda. So it started catching up. And like by the time Dressrosa came around, we're doing 0.8 chapters per episode.
Yeah.
So like One Piece's anime isn't great, but I now feel better about it because Wano is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I genuinely love Bleach's manga. But I wanted to say like you would like it because like it is a very unique power system that doesn't like forget itself.
Yeah.
And I think that's really, really good.
You sold me on it. Like I'm genuinely excited for the game. I think I'd read the manga at least up until like TYBW, just because like my friends have also told me that the Bleach anime is like dog shit in the beginning.
The Bleach anime, well, so Soul Society is really good. Like the first 60 episodes of Bleach is really good. And then there is the Bound arc, which is the worst filler arc in all anime ever. And then everything else after that until like almost the Fullbringer arc is pretty much garbage.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But I love Bleach objectively, I would say. Well, this is an opinion.
Yeah.
So get ready for an opinion preceded by the word objectively.
Okay. Here we go. An opinion on Otakus Anonymous. Who would believe?
Yeah. It's got the best like character designs out of
easy.
most anime.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not even close. The fucking men are gorgeous. The women are gorgeous. The character designs are different from each other.
Just
the OST fucks.
Yeah, the forms are great.
Yep.
Every one of Ichigo's forms is cooler than every one of Goku's, Luffy's, and Naruto's.
Final Getsuga Tensho is undoubtedly, in my mind, the coolest anime upgrade out.
Yeah.
Like Getsuga Tensho, like it's like long black hair. He's
Yeah.
wearing like this tattered black
The
thing.
wraps.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's so dope. And then like the build up behind that moment is also really, really cool. And it's like a battle against Aizen, who's like still the final baddie of the story. TYB, oh man, it's so cool. I hate that they rushed Tite Kubo.
You know what? Only Dragon Ball gets right about forms. Kind of.
Just to rip the clothes off him.
Well, that's awesome.
Yep.
But like, right, I always criticize Dragon Ball because all the forms are like getting too similar. Yeah, it's just recoloring now. They used to be a lot more different visually. Super Saiyan 3 to Super Saiyan 2, way different.
That's the only one.
Super Saiyan 4, the fusions.
Super Saiyan 4 doesn't exist, technically. And also, the fusions are just, I mean, the fusions are fusions, you know?
Which is cool.
They kind of just look
That's
like
fun.
each other. I guess. I don't know. I've never loved any of the transformations.
Well,
I liked when they turned into gorillas.
I like the, that's fair.
Yeah.
I like the idea that you have a cast of Saiyans and you're like, okay, you could go Super Saiyan 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe, blue, red. And then you're like, okay, I saw that with Goku. Now I'm excited to see like Trunks go Super Saiyan Blue or Super Saiyan Red. I feel like with like Naruto, with Bleach, maybe, I don't know about Bleach, but with One Piece, Luffy, like the main character, gets a ton of forms.
Yeah.
And nobody else really does.
So it's not that's not necessarily the case in, so like it definitely like Ichigo gets more cases, like more upgrades in Bleach. So he gets his Shikai release, he gets his Bankai release, he then like loses his Bankai, he gets a new Bankai, he gets a Fullbringer release, and so like he has like 5 or so, but like even characters like Orihime and
Does
Chad.
like Rukia have anything?
Rukia gets her Bankai release in TYBW, and it's fucking awesome.
Okay,
it's like absolute zero. It's really, really cool. She like freezes everything down to absolute zero. But that's kind of the thing, is like everybody kind of gets, like every important character in Bleach gets up to, it's like a domain expansion in JJK.
Right.
You're always waiting for somebody to get a domain expansion.
Well, that's good. That's what I like. I like establishing like a thing like Super Saiyan.
This is as high as you go.
Well, like a thing everyone can get, and you want to see everyone's version of that. Like hockey, I guess, is maybe like that.
Hockey
where it's like,
is kind of like,
it's like Super Saiyan's cool because it's like if most of the cast is Super Saiyan, you're like, okay, Goku just did it. Oh, what would Gohan look like? What would Vegeta's look like? And Trunks's. Like, My Hero doesn't really have that, but it'd be like, you know, like everyone gets like an awakened quirk.
Yeah, My Hero doesn't have upgrades, really. They just get stronger. But One Piece is also kind of the same way. Everybody kind of just gets hockey. Like it's not like anybody like it's like Luffy and all of them like train for it during the time skip, and they just kind of get hockey.
Yeah.
Hockey's kind of, out of all the power systems of the big three and of modern day anime, I find hockey to be the least interesting. There's like Conqueror's hockey, which is a way to knock people out, basically. It's like, oh, you release a giant, like it's like Ryatsu in Bleach. It's like, oh, you release spiritual pressure. And then there's like there's armament hockey, which is like making your body hard. And then there's like future sight hockey. I'm forgetting what it's called now. But like you can like see the future, kind of like predictive hockey, hardening hockey, and Conqueror's hockey. And that's kind of it. The only thing that like is a form upgrade in One Piece is
gear.
Well, yeah, but the gear, like, so the gears are kind of Luffy. Luffy's in a weird position because he is maybe, I'm not gonna spoil it, but like, if you're a devil fruit user, you can awaken your devil fruit.
Okay.
That's how you get like a form change, but you don't like get a new form. You do different things.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah, it's like the idea of like, oh, every devil fruit user gets X.
Yeah.
Oh, we know like 30 devil fruit users. What's Buggy's? What's Robin's? And that, like, I love that in anime.
So Robin and Wano just got like this like devil child form, and like you see Doflamingo and Dressrosa like unlock something with his like I forget what he had, like a rope or a spindly ass. Like he's got like spider web abilities. So like you see awakenings like post episode 700, and that's like what it gets kind of cool. But
that's
like,
cool.
One Piece isn't about like transformations.
Yeah.
It's about the transformations in your heart. It's about the journey. But yeah, no, you should watch Bleach. And I ironically wrote Bleach is getting the treatment that MHA should have had from Bones. And then I watched this week's episode of MHA and I was like, why are they putting money in now? Because literally Studio Period made an entire new section of their like company called Studio Period Movies, basically just to take care of TYBW because it's doing so well. And I was like, why didn't Bones do, like, what the fuck else is Bones animating?
I know.
Yeah. But then they dropped like 2 absolute banger episodes. And so now apparently money's going back in.
Yeah, this latest episode, so this is Ochaka versus, my lord.
Close.
Ochaka versus Toga.
Yeah.
It's the new best episode of the season, in
Better
my
than
opinion.
last episode.
Way better. I mean, last episode I still thought wasn't as good as the Endeavor episode when he shoots lasers out of his eyes.
I love a good laser.
I love it. This is like the best one. It's like, I think, because you talked about last episode where like Shoto and all the Todoroki situation is like the best part.
The most compelling part of MHA, yeah.
I think it's Toga for me.
Really?
Toga's so compelling and so interesting. She doesn't have enough screen time. Like, there isn't enough development towards it. And I kind of feel the same way about Hawks.
Yeah.
Like, we got to see Hawks' backstory, which was
I
like...
thought you were going to talk about we got to see Hawks, like, holding his sword.
Holding a little sword with
like,
short hair. And like
frail little, like, plucked bird Hawks.
It was so funny because Hawks has a moment where they're, like, talking about... They're like Toga's multiplying at, like, an outrageous rate. And it cuts to Hawks, and he's got this little sword, and he's like... I'll kill him all.
I'll get him again. I love doing it.
Yeah, he loves... I just was waiting for this wave of twices to come to him, and he's like, finally, the reason I'm on this earth.
Oh, I've been waiting to relive this moment for years.
I just want him to be fucking just hacking at twice.
I would love that. I would love that so much.
Hacking at bunch.
Yeah, and finally we'd be like, nice.
Thanks.
Nice. Finally we'd be proven correct.
Yeah.
When the Hawks is a murderer allegations finally come through, boy, oh boy, am I excited.
Toga's on our side.
Toga is on our side. I mean,
that's why she's my favorite.
Twice killed, or Hawks killed her best friend. Yeah. So,
but she's so compelling. This episode went into like how when she was a little girl, she had this like they called it a perversion. Like it got weirdly
a perversion of her quirk. Yeah.
Yeah, it got like weirdly mature and dark, where they were like, yeah, it's a perversion of her quirk, which means like her quirk just kind of went haywire genetically.
Or like her quirk augmented her personality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like that they deal with like she has this like mental disorder kind of. Like she's like Dexter from Dexter.
Yeah.
Where has an insatiable thirst for blood.
Yeah.
But they do it in a way that's very grounded and very human because she's like the other kids feel this way too, right? Like why, how are the other kids?
How does everyone keep it in check?
Yeah, how is everyone else so much better at controlling it? And her parents are like freaking out and they're like, you're a freak!
And they're just like telling her to be normal.
Yeah.
Ironically, Toga is a better example of how to do Joker Folie à Deux than Joker Folie à Deux did.
So I've heard.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either, but I've heard that it's just like Arthur Fleck being like, I'm sorry for everything that I did. And it's like, no, he's like the Joker is supposed to be like an absolute monster who's like not apologetic for any of the murders he's ever done. And like, that's kind of what that's Toga's entire deal. It's like Toga's entire deal is supposed to be like, she wanted to be normal. She tried to be normal. She couldn't suppress the urges because her quirk makes her love like the people that she loves. She wants to be them. And like by extension, that's like she needs to consume their blood to be them.
Yeah. She's just so interesting. I think she doesn't get enough screen time. I think like the stuff with Uraraka, where it started was weak.
It's unfortunately to me really thin.
It's very thin. This episode reins it in a bit because it's like, yeah, because at first it's like, oh, we want to talk about boys and romance. And it's like, weird time.
Yeah.
Like, it's in the middle of a fight and it's weird and whack. But here, it's like, Uraraka really leans into it. And it's less like, oh, literal, like, let's talk about romance, and more like...
a reach out.
Yeah, a reach out, where she's like, right now, all Toga cares about is genocide.
Yeah.
And Uraraka's like, talk to me about love.
Yeah.
Like, tell me about your crushes and stuff like that. And it's less this weird, like, oh, this is what women talk about. And more like, yeah, she's like, I will be your friend.
Yeah, it's a call to what Toga's, like, the core of, like, Toga's, like character development is, which is that like Toga's introduces this character who's obsessed with Deku and Ichaku and Froppy. And so like the way that Ichaku reaches out is like, hey, let's talk about the one thing that I know you're interested in outside of genocide.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it finds itself in a better situation by the end of it, but in the beginning it feels so incredibly thin. You're like, this, like there's a million things we could be talking about. Why are we like actively like in the one time we're seeing two women communicate in this show, trying to bring it back to the men here. And so I think Toga's a fantastic example of like the fantastic encapsulation of Horikoshi's writing is like really, really cool, deep, dark theme explored, not fleshed out in the best possible way.
Yeah.
Like it's like the same thing with like the heteromorph like racism, right?
Yeah.
You're like, oh my god, like what a like a beautiful and complex world building idea. Like obviously people who are born with 6 arms and a crazy horse mouth are going to be discriminated against. And then they're like, and here's 2.5 episodes to deal with this entire arc.
Yeah.
And it's like that's MHA in a nutshell. Is like these really, really good, like absolutely we need to flesh these part of the universes out ideas that's like then swept under the rug because what's Todoroki doing?
Yeah, right.
You know?
Yeah, but I did, the animation was great in this. It's kind of cool, kind of whatever, that Uraraka just like lifts them all.
Yeah.
Like it's a fucking, just like a big plate of bugs.
Yeah.
Like, but I loved it. This was like the closest I'd felt to being like emotional during an episode.
Of MHA ever?
No.
Of this season?
Okay, not ever, because I was close to being like ever.
Okay.
Because I was like, I felt hype before, but I haven't felt like emotional. And then I remembered like everything with Mirio and Eri, and that was like the peak of my emotions.
Or Mirko just like slicing through Nomus in like their like little like containment cells.
I don't know if that was emotional, but
that was emotional for me. The emotion was hard. Yeah, absolutely.
The emotion was horny.
I'll watch that woman do anything.
I do love Mirko.
I would watch that woman snip grass one blade at a time. My God.
But this season definitely like most emotional bit. I loved it.
No, it's good. I don't think it's gonna be the final episode. I think after this fight it's a fight I lovingly refer to as Iron Might, and I think Iron Might is gonna be the last fight. And it's gonna be fucking sick.
Yeah.
They also released an MHA movie, and you went and saw it.
I did see it. I saw the premiere.
How was it?
Like, you know,
I'm going to see it tomorrow.
It's like another one.
Yeah.
You know?
It's your turn.
To do.
It's your turn.
To spoil?
It's your turn.
Oh, I'm next?
No, it's your turn.
Help me.
It's your turn. You're next. I mean, I'm sorry.
That's what I just fucking said.
You're next. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I forgot it. Horikoshi released a special one shot, and I was like, oh, there's more MHA. It's gonna be, and then it was just it was like, hey, go watch your next. And I was like, okay, fine, that's cool.
It's like on par with the others. It doesn't necessarily.
MHA makes good non-canon movies. They're fine.
They're fine.
7 out of 10.
They're fine, but they're not. I was thinking about this the other day. Another thing, Dragon
The
Ball.
third one was an 8.
I didn't see it.
It's pretty good.
In my defense.
You didn't see the Rudy one?
No.
That's what everyone's like, ooh, Deku and that boy be kissing.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's everyone was like, they saw that bird and they were like, the Deku was gay for that boy with the bird.
Dude, in this one, not this movie, but this latest episode, I was like, just kiss Toga, please.
Who?
Ochaka.
Oh.
I was like,
Oh, in this fight.
Yeah, in this fight.
Gotcha.
I was like, you guys should be kissing right now.
Yeah,
Like,
and about time we get some lesbianism
Yeah.
in here. No one ever. You know what I've realized? You know what I've realized, Dan? You know what I fucking realized, Dan?
I'd love to hear it.
I feel like nobody ever ships women. In
I
anime.
also feel that way.
Right? I feel like everyone goes like BL, and no one ever goes like.
To be fair, there's not a lot of women. One in shonen.
That's fair. That's also fair. Yeah.
And two, not a lot of like. They're usually like fawning over guys. You know what I mean?
Yo, that's also that's fair.
Yeah, like there's not a lot of women who are just
They
like
have to have autonomy for them to be interested in each other.
like in Naruto.
Yeah.
Other than Sakura and Ino, I can't think of like a single fucking time
Female relationship.
2 women have ever hung out.
I want to say like Hinata and Tenten, but that definitely
No shot.
didn't have Tsunade and Shizune. But that's a worker employee
That's a
situation.
fucking Peppermint Patty and Marcy situation.
Yeah, I'd fucking watch it. Are you kidding me? Kushina and Sasuke's mom. Mikoto Uchiha.
But you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, there's not a lot.
no. Like, who are we shipping? What women do we even have the chance to ship? It's like Nami and Robin.
No, it wouldn't be like Nami and Rob, but it would probably be like Carrot or something. Like Carrot and
They don't like, because it's not enough to just have women standing next to each other. You know, they have to have that like
chemistry.
Yeah, they have to have chemistry of like a fucking Bakugo and Kirishima.
Or like every character from Blue Lock.
Yeah.
Like it's like the gayest non-gay show of all time.
Just dudes kicking balls, man.
Dude, and they're just like one of them's a little cat, one of them's a big strong guy who's got like a big comb forward hair, and then occasionally when he's shirtless and he takes a shower, his hair's all down.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. Now I'm trying to think of lesbian couples from Tamari's
Black Butler?
Tamari's got to be in there.
Which one's Oh, the fan?
Yeah.
She don't talk to anyone. None of the women in Naruto talk to each other.
Tamari, I feel like some people would be like Tamari X Sakura, maybe. Like a little femme mask situation. Because Tamari's the mask.
What about-
She's the mask in a relationship already.
What about Black Clover?
They're all obsessed with us.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Vanessa and Marileona. Marileona's a lesbian, for sure.
Oh my god, you should. Oh wait, the Witch from Mercury.
The Witch from Mercury. That's Gundam. That's
There's
what.
Burn the Witch.
What about-
You still got to see that. That's in the Bleach universe. It's an anime.
It's in the Bleach universe?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like before or after? After, right?
I think it's like side. It's just like in Bleach.
What does this have to do with lesbians?
I don't know. Someone said the Witch from Mercury.
The Witch from Mercury is Gundam.
I know, and then I was like, Burn the Witch, which is Bleach.
Gotcha.
These guys really need to watch more anime because it's just kind of sad, actually. Look, we're just trying to fucking.
Oh, we're trying to relate to. Oh yeah, Mr. Fucking Anime Man.
Yeah, Potato Hildy.
Yeah, you fucking anime nerd. You goddamn degenerate weeb. God, how fucking dare he? How dare he? How dare he? Oh yeah. Let me get into. Actually no, there is some.
Well, I mean, Madoka Magica.
Madoka
It's all
Magica.
women. Yeah.
That's
Sayaka.
the thing. We're trying to talk big anime here because like I could tell you all about like how I could tell you like about like Satsuki Kirawin.
Yeah.
And
I could talk to you about a dead anime from 2008.
Yeah, I could bring up like how fucking like Katana Gatari had some possible lesbian ships, but no one's gonna give a shit.
Yeah. But anyway, my hero, you're next. I went to the premiere. I know you're just not listening and thinking of more lesbians.
Marileona and the former Wizard Queen.
Yeah.
They had a fight. I wanted to
Nice.
watch them kiss.
I watched.
I'm trying to do the one eye blink. Like the slow eye.
Yeah.
Like, I can't do it. All right. Anyways, yeah, you watched your next.
And I watched your next. And it was funny because at the premiere, we get in and we, there are little boxes in the seats.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, nice, like t-shirts or something. And I pick up the box and it's heavy. And I sit down and I'm opening it up and it says like My Hero, You're Next on it. And I'm like, oh, dope, a t-shirt. Like, I'll probably wear a My Hero t-shirt. I hope it comes in like a small or a medium, but it's probably large to be turkey sandwich. It was a fucking like 12-inch turkey sub.
Like a hoagie?
Yes, a hoagie. And I like turned to Sarah and I've got this like turkey like Jersey Mike sub like spilling out of itself. And I was like, this is the best night of my life.
I get this in anime?
I was like, this is awesome. And then,
so Sarah went with you?
yeah, Sarah went with me.
I invited Dorothy to Santa Ana tomorrow to watch it, and she said no.
She just wanted to see a premiere.
Yeah, that's fair.
Guess what? They didn't know. They didn't ask about diet. They didn't do anything. Like, I last minute, 40 seconds ago, like told them Sarah was coming. She got a caprese in her box.
Really?
Just coincidentally.
They're like, hey, she gives vegan vibes?
Yeah.
Caprese has mozzarella in it.
Well, vegetarian.
Okay. Yeah, good enough.
Yeah.
Does she
Yeah.
eat cheese?
She does like if it's presented at her, but it hurts her stomach because she goes so long without eating
That's
cheese.
very fair.
But like,
And mozzarella's milky.
Yeah, and it's caprese. It's just cheese
It's
sandwich.
literally just a slab of wet cheese.
Yeah.
But you like to give it a rating.
It's better
Then 2?
than the first one.
But not as good as the second one.
I don't know if it's as good as the second one.
Second one's awesome.
This one's really
That's bread.
This one's like really boring until the very end.
That's kind of the third one. The third one is also kind of boring until the end. And then it's like, oh, this is some of the most gorgeously animated fights I've ever seen in my entire life.
This one has like, right, so Bones loves doing like an abstract fight.
Yeah.
Like, you know Bones is cooking when you can hardly tell what's going on.
Deku throwing a flurry of punches against the rebound ability in the third movie.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've seen it.
Yeah,
It's like him, like a bunch of like green hands coming in, like he's trying to overwhelm somebody.
That in the second movie when him and Bakugo like are a lightning ball and then they fuse and then they're a torpedo.
And then All Might's lat spreading like, to like, go faster. Yeah.
Exactly. Like they love doing stuff like that. This one, Deku does a drop kick that is too abstract. And you'll know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
It's just nonsense. Like Sarah leans over me. Deku's like charging a drop kick. Like he's like he's Iron Man. Like he slowly leans back and is getting ready for a drop kick. And then just cuts to like geometric shapes for a bit. Like it's a Microsoft like '08 loading screen.
Yeah.
And Sarah leans next to me and she's like, what's happening? And I'm like, no, they're dropping the, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't know. He's kicking a guy.
Yeah, he's like, that triangle, see, that's Deku, all right? The square is the fucking enemy.
I was like, he's kicking a guy right now. And she's like, no, he isn't.
Yeah, simply,
Look,
we are not. They just
I
forgot to
promise this
render.
will end with a kick.
Yeah.
But
I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, it's like the
Is
last...
it a future timeline or is it current?
No, it's weird. It's like season 5 because Mirko has all of her limbs.
Oh, God, yeah.
But Deku has Black Whip.
Yeah, Meku, like, she's like, oh, wow, I got it all back. Like, it's like, technology is advanced.
It's really funny. There's a dude with red hair named like Julio. He's really cool. He's a cool character.
There's a girl, though, as well, right?
There's a girl. She's fine. Well, there's one girl and she's fine.
Wait, hold up. I think I know which one you're talking about.
She looks like Lady D from Resident Evil.
Wait.
She looks like Raven. That one's okay.
Okay. But this guy, cool guy? Mm-hmm. Yep.
And there was a girl who looks like Raven, our friend.
Oh. Nice.
So you'll like that.
That is the entirety of my comment on that point.
Yeah, but he's cool. Yeah, it's just kind of like boring until the end, and the last 10 minutes is like a bunch of cool animation. So, and there's like
so an MHA movie.
There isn't a bit that's as good as Bakugo getting all for one, but there is like a fan service ass like attack. That's cool.
Gotcha.
But
that's
anyway,
kind of dope, actually.
Moving on.
Should we talk about the only IP gayer than MHA?
Hold on, I can do this.
Yep.
Blue Lock?
There we go.
I didn't watch it. I didn't know it came out. I just answered.
Why didn't you? I was watching MHA on the couch. You could have sat down and could be like, oh, I'll watch Blue Lock.
I didn't know it came out.
It's back.
They're good?
You want me to read my notes to you?
Sure.
Everyone's taking soccer too seriously.
It sounds like Blue Lock is back.
Yep. Mid OP. Oh yeah. Boy, oh boy, did I not understand those team rules. I
I don't need to have watched the episode. I
Yeah.
It's just so like, wow, Blue Lock's back.
Yeah. How did people get kicked out? How did we get here? Did I have to watch the movie? Question mark. That is the entirety of my Blue Lock notes.
It's so much better having not seen the episode.
They do a thing where they're like, oh man, I can't believe so many people got kicked out. And I was like, fucking when? I was like, I remember there being more people here.
Whoa, damn.
Do you remember how the last season ended?
Yeah, they do a little recruitment camp with a bunch of like adult pros.
Oh, was that after they all had to go through like the obstacle courses one by one? And they had to like score a bunch of goals?
Maybe?
Or is that when there was like, they had like a bunch of like 3v3 teams and you could like strip people from other. Yeah. Was that how it ended?
Yeah.
And then some people got kicked off doing that. It looks better. It looks better animated than people said it was going to. There's like actually movement. Good. The entire trailer was like people being like, but there was also, now that I'm thinking about it, no soccer played in this entire episode.
Whoa, what the fuck happened in this episode?
A lot of fucking rules is what happened.
Whoa,
they were like,
no soccer.
They're like, you're the top 6.
Blue Lock is not back if there's no soccer.
Blue Lock is almost unback because the entire premise of this season is that Blue Lock might get erased. They have to fight against the U20s soccer team. I don't fucking know.
Whatever.
This show, gay as hell.
Oh, yeah.
So gay. Daniel Duenas, our resident LGBTQIA. Yep, there we go. That's one way to explain it. Did an entire video today describing their favorite BL romance, like BL headships in the show. And boy, oh boy, is there a lot of them.
Yeah, I bet.
There is so many of them.
I mean, it's all dudes. So.
It's all dudes, but it's also like, depending on your flavor, depending on which way you want to go, you could ship anybody.
You got options.
Like infinite options. Because everybody's a little ditzy.
Yeah.
Everybody's taking their shirts off. Everybody's talking about soccer. They got mutual interests.
Yeah. And Isagi isn't like a Tanjiro. Like, he's nice. He's trying to get people to work together. Yeah. But also a bit of a prick.
He's also trying to like get people kicked out.
Yeah. So like everyone in Blue Lock, which I love, is a little bit nice and a little bit of a prick.
Yeah.
Which makes for great shipping.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite character in Blue Lock? And why is it Chigiri?
Oh, it's just a fanboy. You just chose the prettiest
one. He's the fastest one.
Oh, go use a goal. I'm gonna tear my ACL again. I'll tell you right now, my favorite is Naki. I like
white hair.
Yeah.
Wow.
First off, I've always been a white hair apologist. Okay. Every time you give me a white hair character, I'm that one. Because he's so good at things and he plays video games, and that's me.
He's like disarmingly tall.
Yeah.
I keep thinking he's short.
All
and then,
are.
Well, yeah, they are.
They're all like 6'3", and I'm like, okay, you're all supposed to be Japanese here.
Yeah. Chigiri's funny because he's he's very well written in the sense that I've met people who've torn their ACLs and they also do not shut the fuck up about it.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Your 9-month recovery, I'm sure it was traumatizing.
Yeah.
Like, no, I still can't walk right. You know, sophomore year football, I tore my ACL.
Yeah.
It's like, hey man.
That's okay.
I didn't ask. You were never going pro. You're 5'6".
Hey, I spent 20 years not eating right. I hurt every day. You don't hear me
Trust me when I say,
it.
buddy, all that rehab you did was more exercise than I've done in my entire life.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So it's fun. It's fun. It's back. It's sports.
Yeah. Should we talk a bit?
Can we talk Uzumaki?
Uzumaki.
This is...
I have news about it.
Really? Do the news first.
No.
Yeah.
No. Because it leads into what I think you're about to say first.
I was going to say this is the funnest 24 minutes of anime I've ever experienced in my entire life.
What?
This is... Dude, listen. I forgot just how silly Uzumaki is. It is the silliest story. It's objectively kind of scary at times, but like it is the silliest story ever, and I fucking love it.
It really peaks in like the first fourth in terms of like taking it seriously.
Oh yeah.
Like the ideas, like I love like Corkscrew Man, who stuffs himself in a tub.
His dad, yeah.
Yeah, his dad.
Shuichi's dad, yeah.
I'm gonna give him all silly names, Nick, so don't fucking get testy with me.
That's all. Kirie, Shuichi. I'm actually memorizing more of these than I thought.
I like Snail Man.
Yeah.
Love Snail Man.
Komatatsu?
Stop.
I think that's it.
I like Funnelhead, the girl with the big eye that's tattooed on every woman's thigh. I like her.
Yeah.
I don't like Hair Girl.
That is It is the weakest subplot out of all of them, and it's only because they all like she survives.
Yeah.
Does the other one survive?
Which?
The other hair girl. She goes up to like a
I don't know.
lamppost.
I don't think so.
I don't remember. Does she die? I don't
Dude, the
remember.
way I would shoot them on sight.
Okay.
The way I would have the Japanese military rolling in.
Can I read you my notes here? Just
Sure.
because these were like, I was watching this on the plane ride today, giggling like a little girl, like just like on this flight back from Santa Rosa to LA. And I said, like our parents, such a wild, needless exposition, LOL. When the two poor children are sitting in their row house and they're like, oh, are those snakes fighting? And they're like, no, they're mating. They're tangled up like our parents. And I'm like, that's fucking awesome. And then the boo, I love you guy. I that's the greatest character. That's the greatest bit of all time.
Yeah.
Just hiding in a cemetery, scaring women, and then telling them you love them. Yeah. What a guy. And he's just known as Jack in the Box. And the whole thing is that he runs around the town running bits at somebody.
Yeah, just spooking.
And he's just spooking. He's just spooking and trying to find love. And he's like, I'm not going to give up on you. And it's like, hey, man, work out. I don't know. Fucking like stop scaring
Stop
bitches.
harassing women.
Yeah, like what are you doing here?
I love how you're like, what a silly, goofy little public harassment.
Yeah, dude, it's really funny.
Yeah.
And then this is my only serious one. Which spiral affliction that we've seen thus far would you take for yourself?
Well, the girl who had a spiral in her head ate herself.
Yep. That's
so not
good.
that
None
one.
of them are good.
Yeah. Slugman sucks.
Slugman's not bad. They're alive.
I'd rather be the two people twisting.
I guess you go out with the person you love.
Yeah.
And they do like slither off into the ocean. Like I think they're still alive.
Yeah, they're just in the ocean, twisted.
They technically accomplished what they wanted to do. They're together.
Actually, no. What the fuck am I talking about? Hair.
Yeah.
The hair one.
That's the right answer. Because you can just cut it off.
Yeah.
And it's not like that hard.
Yeah.
Like, should we just like with scissors was just like, hey, I'm gonna give you the worst pixie cut of all time.
No, it does. Like, I think the strongest concepts are in like the first episode. Not that I think it's really gonna like fall off, but it's where I sort of fell off in reading Uzumaki. Like, I read the whole thing, but I
read Uzumaki to be like spooked. You read it because it's funny as fuck. It's legitimately so funny.
It's silly. Well, you read it for like the shock value of like, what else is this guy cooking up in his head?
Yeah.
But like, I remember towards like the last fourth or third of Uzumaki, I'm like, God, I'm really getting a lot of mileage out of this fucking spiral idea.
Out of this whole spinny thing here. I get it. Whirlpools are scary.
There's only so much of this fucking town I could take before I'm like, just sink it. Just fucking rip this shit off and dump it in the ocean.
The fact that that was not like discussed earlier, they're like, hey, we're gonna stop doing cremations. It's creepy. Hey, man, maybe start axing some other things as well.
Yeah, execute this entire town. It's
Yeah, they're like, hey,
unsalvageable.
it's only when people from our town die that we get spiral cremation.
Yeah.
Like that should be your first thing. This is my favorite note. You have sentient hair. Maybe skip school today. You know, she's like her hair is like fighting against the braids, and she wakes up and it's like 8 feet tall, and she's like, you know what? Might as well go to class.
Dude, I think I like mentally beg her to not go to class every fucking day.
Take a day off. Like, and then my second favorite note here. I got a lot of notes that I absolutely adore from this episode because, like I said, this has probably been my favorite episode of anime all year. When the kid who's picking on the slug goes, "Oh, you should have seen Sluggo," and the other kid is like, "Oh, that's going kind of far, man. Don't call him Sluggo. He's a fucking slug." Like your classmate turned into a slug, and we're drawing the line at GO on the end of slug.
What about when the guy stripped him and dragged him into the hallway? That's not too much.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, get his cock out, get his cock out." And meanwhile, they build a pen. They build a fucking pen for him. Did you realize that? They have Sluggo. He's climbing on the walls, and then an episode later, he has a fully functional giant slug pen. Oh,
Where he actually is fucking another giant slug.
yeah. Well, and then the teacher comes and brings his parents over, and he just goes, "This is your son.
This is your kid."
I fucking cackled.
Very funny.
And then how about Boo Guy being like, "My love's gonna stop this car," and my note was, "Love wasn't powerful enough."
It just wasn't.
It
just wasn't.
And then the teacher turns into a snail, and I was like,
fucks the kid.
yeah, my note was no. The kids fuck. Then they leave eggs.
Right.
And then the teacher becomes a snail because he crushed the eggs. And I said, that's the third snail this week. Maybe leave. You know,
That's the third person to become a snail.
I'm gone after the first one, objectively. But like
100%.
2, 3, I'm out.
It's just an unsalvageable town.
I think I'd leave the second my mother's. Well, man, it's tough because your mom's still in the hospital. Like, I'm trying to get her out of there. I'm like, be like, hey mom, put a jacket on, close your eyes. We're getting on a train.
I'd leave the second a woman sucks a man into her eye socket.
Yeah. Like the things that Kyrie and Suichi have seen and just decided to not leave.
Yeah.
Hey, go beg in Tokyo or some shit.
The second a woman implodes right in front of me, I'm killing myself. I'm just ending my life.
There's no way to recover from that whatsoever.
Knowing that that's a possibility for me or anyone I know is too much.
Yeah. So I want this anime to win Anime of the Year.
Okay. I don't think it will.
I love it so much, dude.
What'd you think of the animation this episode?
CG in the beginning was real tough to look at. Anytime they pan out and move people, it is fucking choppy.
Yeah.
It's bad.
So this episode, and spoiler, the last two all have significantly worse animation than the first episode. And the executive producer, Jason DeMarco, posted a now deleted tweet that says, "It's fine. We knew this would happen. I can't talk about what went down, but we were screwed over. And the options were A, not finish and air nothing and call it a loss. B, just finish and air episode 1 and leave it incomplete. Or two.
There we go.
Or C, run all 4 episodes, warts and all, out of respect for the hard work. We chose C. After waiting so long, it makes sense people would be mad. Unfortunately, I can't tell them who to blame it on. But someone is definitely at fault here, and we all just had to do our best when things got imploded. Maybe others would have made different choices. We did the best we could with what we had. But again, a lot of people worked very hard on the show, and I didn't think the actions of just 1 or 2 people should be the reason it never saw the light of day. Maybe that's a wrong choice. I truly don't know. But those people have a right to be annoyed and disappointed. I'm glad you're digging it."
I don't think it was like we need to release a public presser bad.
People did. People were like talking about it. I found that on IGN. Like IGN was like, "Why is this episode so bad?" And they did a follow-up.
It's not as good as episode 1, but it's not public presser bad. Like, it's like, yeah, like I said, when they pan out, like you see them when they were running down the beach.
Yeah,
that was that was really bad animation.
Yeah.
But like public presser, but no.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, they're doing more CGI.
Well, this seems, at the very least, it seems less like he's like, "Oh, let me like calm the fires," and more like this dude's genuinely pissed about what, like he's like,
over.
Yeah, he's like, "This isn't what we wanted it to be. I'm going to like tell people."
Yeah. And like he has every right to do so.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was like some higher up at HBO being like, "We're diverting money for this for."
They probably saw how
there's another dragon in fucking House of the Dragons now or something. Like they just need $80 million more for Storm Thrall the 7th.
Yeah.
Fucking stupid.
Fucking.
I love it. I love it so much. I'm so happy with it. Nothing could make me hate it. I love this story so fucking much. It's so silly. It's so silly.
It's very spooky, scary skeleton. Kind of like. It's so funny because people are like, Junji Ito is the master of horror.
Yeah.
He's just fun and silly.
He's just a boy.
Yeah.
Like he's like literally like he's so like just like a silly goofy guy.
Yeah.
And like if you see any of his interviews, it's just him being a goof.
Yeah, he's a goof.
He's got his cats and like he just makes Hayao Miyazaki seem like the most miserable man of all time. And I love it so much. All right. Speaking of things that look terrible, you want to talk about DanDaDan?
Those seem like
you were talking,
different.
you literally before the podcast, you were like, look, that was the worst looking episode of anime I've ever seen. You were doing this whole, like, a long diatribe.
Why are you lying to people?
I don't know why you're backing out of your take.
What are you talking about?
Danny, I don't know what you're, I don't know what
What
you're.
a weird and mean bit.
That's where the Jamaican accent comments. No, this was fucking gorgeous. Wow.
For as fucking weird as this was,
yeah,
I loved it. This is like,
welcome to the new gen. Like, welcome to actual now new gen.
That's so, you know what? Everyone's like Jujutsu Kaisen, Chainsaw Man, blah, blah, like they're the new gen.
Yeah.
No, it isn't. One Punch Man started new gen.
So you're saying 2013 started new gen?
I think the influences on this era of popular anime isn't so much JJK, it isn't so much Attack on Titan, it isn't so much Chainsaw Man.
You're saying
it's more,
Dawn to Dawn is influenced by One Punch Man.
It's One Punch Man, Mob Psycho. Well, I'm saying...
Maybe by one.
Well, that makes sense. Yeah. But I'm saying, like, not necessarily that it's influenced by it, but I'm saying, like, the masses are gravitating towards that vibe. Because DanDaDan's huge, Mob Psycho was huge, One Punch Man was huge. And One Punch Man, if it wasn't just one season for, like, years and years and years.
It's 2 seasons, but yeah.
For years and years and years, was one. And then season 2 came out, and it was not as good.
Not as good, yeah.
Like, when One Punch Man season 1 came out, it had the pull that Attack on Titan did.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, in terms of, like, being on a college campus and, like, randoms who, like, never watch anime watching an anime, One Punch Man and Attack on Titan had the same pull.
Yeah, hand in hand.
And I think DanDaDan is, like, I don't know, like, in this new era, I'm seeing, like, more mainstream shit be that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. And
It's
I love
so
this.
Mob Psycho coded, it's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's Mob Psycho to a T. It's Mob Psycho with, I mean, Mob's very relatable and I love him, and I guess Reagan would technically be his foil, but, like, it's, like, a co-protagonist situation, but, like, more focused on, like, a love story. I guess Mob Psycho is also pretty focused on a love story.
This is a little easier on the eyes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
just
it's
in a
less
general
conceptual.
sense.
Like, it's much less conceptual.
I just means less, like, ugly.
Yeah.
Like, Mob Psycho has great animation, ugly art style.
Yeah.
This has, like, a pretty solid art style.
That's actually an upgrade from what the web novels look like, because fuck, are the web novels hard to read. It's one who does all the stories is, like, not a good artist, which is why he's always getting manga artists to, like, actually, like, zhuzh it up. I love this episode so much I'm rereading Dawn to Dawn, and I'm now on chapter 16.
Wow.
Yeah, I the artwork, and so, like, the biggest thing about, and I'm sure you noticed this, is, like, the creative and directorial choices to, like, rotoscope and, like, attack, like there's, like, really, they do a really good job at, like, I don't know how to explain it, like, when there's, like, a bunch of lines that go, like, across the screen in one direction, the character's following those lines. It's like they come from, like a non, like think about, like, Genos' kick in One Punch Man. The one that Saitama dodges, where, like, Genos is, like, launching up all of his rockets in this giant kick, and he, like, comes from across the screen, kind of. Like, there's a lot of those scenes where, like, the character comes from a non-traditional, like, area and goes, like, pans across your screen. So that is, like, people are like, oh my god, wow, I love, like, all of these, like, changes in direction and, like, looks and all of that. And I was like, yeah. I feel like I remember that being in the manga. And the manga, probably better than any manga I've ever read, does breakthrough panels really, really well. Like, you know, like where, like, different panels will interact with each other. That's what this manga does, so, like, better than any other manga. Like, this is, like, kind of a good example when the aliens come through, and, like, you see how the aliens, like, stepping through the panel, and, like, the directionality of the
like
hallway.
an overlap.
Yeah. So it's, like, the directionality of, like, they'll, like, I don't know. I feel like they do a good job at, like, building the direction in which they're going.
Yeah.
I'm not explaining it well, but I absolutely like this.
Yeah, it's dynamic.
This right here, like, this scene.
Yeah, the panels are very dynamic. And in the way that a lot of people talk about Akira Toriyama's work, where it's like, Totally Not Mark had a really cool video about it, where you look at an Akira Toriyama panel and they're so clear, and it's like there's no clutter, you always can see what's going on, but also, like, the action will, like, move your eye in a way that's, like, a very fluid. So you're not, like, in a lot of manga, you, like, look at the image and then your eye moves somewhere and reads the text.
Yeah.
And Akira Toriyama was a master at, like someone will be flying from, like, the top right corner to, like, the bottom, and so your eye naturally goes to the bottom, and then the action will, like, move back up to the left. Like, it's like tracing your eye around in a way that's very intentional.
Yeah, and that's what I think that, like, the manga, like, the actual, like, manga artwork in this story is fucking gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like any real, like, Turbo Granny moment, like, it's like, I actually sent a photo of it to Brian, I think. And I'm, like, very rarely, like, genuinely blown away by a manga, like, how it looks.
Yeah.
This right here. So look at this. Splonk.
But so
So anyways, I was splonking my honker.
I told Sarah I have this skit idea.
Yep.
Well, Sarah was like, this is like hardly a skit idea.
By the way, Danny unplugged us. So if
Yeah.
you're wondering why we just changed topics and also sound different, Danny unplugged the mic.
I was like, Sarah was like, oh, Josh. We were talking to Josh, and he was like, I'll be right back. I'm going to go to the bathroom. And then he went to the bathroom, and he didn't come back for a while. Sarah's like, where did Josh go? I was like, I don't know. It's probably, and I did like a jerk off motion.
So aggressive.
And she was like, and for audio only listeners, I did your classic joik.
Yeah, but it was so aggressive. I also didn't like how you bit your lip while looking at me.
Well, I came.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, it was a good one. And then she was like, I don't think he's jerking off. And then I was like, ugh, don't call it jerking off. Call it sploinking your yoinkster. I was like,
I've been doing this thing recently where I'm like, you can't say that. I was like, you can't say jerking off anymore.
I like the idea of doing that and then replacing it with something way more graphic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have this thing shucking your hole. Yeah.
Call it greasing your gizzard. No one says jerking it.
Oh, I didn't like greasing your gizzard at all.
That's the bit.
Oh.
But anyway.
That was a good one.
Thanks. But anyway, so she goes to an abandoned hospital, look for aliens. He goes to an abandoned railroad to look for ghosts. They both end up getting sexually assaulted by the thing they're looking for.
Mm-hmm. 2 for 2 on sexual assault that night.
It's funny because a part of me, I was like, God, of course this is like a pervy, gross show. And I was like, I guess the guy's in the same situation.
Yep.
So at least it's equal opportunity.
In the long gist of it, he gets it way worse than she does.
Yeah.
The first 20, the majority of the first season of this show is going to be dedicated to getting Okarune's like genitalia back.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I do love the design of his, like, I was hoping I thought the premise was going to be like, she's a psychic, he has a demon form.
Yeah.
And I liked his demon form. I wish he kept it.
The like turbo granny thing?
Yeah, but it like turned into like a different, like, it didn't look like her when she was chasing him, you know? Like it kind of changes a little.
He gets like the big old like Deku,
Yeah.
like Deku when he's wearing his mask kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like an African like mask.
I guess like the
kind
big
of thing.
teeth. Like it's kind of like Toga's. It's actually more like Toga's scarf. You know how Toga has the big blue like scarf?
Well, it reminds me of like the Insidious, like, because it's red and like wood kind of color. You know, it's like a red and mahogany color. Am I like just...
No. I think I know what you're talking about. You're gonna like... Okay, I was gonna say, like, I personally really like... I really like his form.
I do too.
But what you're describing is not his form.
What is it?
You're talking... Yeah. Okay. I know what you're talking about.
Like
You're
once
talking
you
about,
took
you're
him
talking
over.
about the form that he uses to save her from all the aliens, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not his form. That's not his form at all. Do you want me to show you like what his form actually looks like?
No.
It's fucking sick though. It's really dope. I really like his transformation is sick. So that's actually not his. That's not going to stick around. That's actually gone after this episode.
I was bummed.
Yeah.
I like that he comes out of the cell phone, beats him up. That was awesome.
Yep. Uses the turbo granny power.
That was fucking sick.
She just wants to nobble on some schlongs and get her titties suckled.
Yeah,
and that's it.
Sub or dub? Dude, this was a day one dub, and I was hyped.
I think I did dub.
Did you go, I'll let you suckle my tea if you let me gobble your schlong?
Yep, she did do that.
Yeah.
I did dub. Everything's been doing day one dubs.
Awesome.
Not Blue Lock.
Please make that the new standard.
I think Uzumaki's also doing day one dubs.
Yeah, but that's Adult Swim, so that makes sense.
That's fair. It's so nice. I love because I can just like do other things. I can putt around the house.
Yeah.
It's fucking great.
It's a good dub too.
It was a great dub, and I was also doing it as a way to like be like, hey Dorothy, you should watch this anime with me.
Bad call.
Bad call. Terrible call. I think I've lost anime showing privileges to Dorothy for a while now because I showed her the first episode. I forgot how schlong focused the first episode is. You know what? I forgot how schlong focused this entire fucking anime and story is.
It's super schlonged up.
First 20, I shit you not, the first 20 chapters are dedicated to schlongs.
Dude, I did this with Sarah the other night. We're watching Frieren.
Yep.
And just got to the kill yourself bit.
Oh,
awesome.
Aura, kill yourself. Fucking
awesome.
Great.
It sucks because Sarah, like, I really sold it to her in the first episode because I was like, it's so philosophical and it's so, like, character driven, and she's like, I still like it, because I keep asking her. I'm like, yeah, I'll show you when you'll really like eventually. And she's like, I like it, but I will be honest, I like it a lot less once the demons showed up. She doesn't really care about fights.
I guess that's
you
fair.
know, and so it stopped being kind of philosophical once the demons came and it's all fighting.
There's like a 4 to 5 episode demon stretch, and then it gets philosophical again.
Demons are gone now. But yeah, it turned into something I like.
Yeah.
But she didn't. The worst feeling ever, because after we watched some for you, I was like, I'm going to show you an anime that's universally beloved. We'll check it out right now. Showed her episode 1 of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Yep.
Which is a fucking, like, whiplash-inducing...
mega shonen gigantic scale fights.
Yeah, like, just a neck breaker of a first episode.
Yeah.
And it couldn't have been any better with me constantly going, I swear it gets better every like 40 seconds.
Like, I swear at some point they talk while a dude's making a city-sized iceberg.
Yeah.
No one talks about the fact that guy was like one of the strongest alchemists of all time. And like episode 1, he's just gone.
Yeah, nobody talks about the fact that guy almost just fucking took out the entire capital.
Yeah. Also, nobody talks about the fact that he was objectively right.
Yeah.
Like he was like, hey, we've been doing war crimes. I'm taking the city out. And everyone was like, well, that guy was... What a kook. Oh my God.
I know. Episode 1 is really good if you've already seen the show, and it's really bad if you haven't.
Really?
It's so fucking confusing.
I guess. Yeah, they throw you directly into the fucking deep end.
There's a ton of shit, and then, spoiler, they never explain alchemy in Brotherhood. Like, never.
Really?
Yeah.
They say equivalent exchange a lot.
Yeah,
like
but
so
that's
many
not
times.
enough.
It's a good you rearrange the molecules.
They never explain the transmutation circles. They just mention that they exist.
They really don't. They do actually like a whole bit in like standard Full Metal where they talk about different types of transmutation, like different types of transmutation. Just oh my God, that's a hard thing to say in a fucking row.
That's what people tell me. They're like, this show's kind of like under the premise that you've already seen the original, so they're expeditious with it.
Yeah.
But like, they don't explain that. They never explain why the homunculi die. Like, they never explain that the soul, the Philosopher's Stones,
redstone.
It's like a battery, and so there's a limit to how much you can heal.
They don't explain that?
No, it's just like you beat them enough, and then they stop healing, and it's like, okay.
Because they're not real Philosopher's Stones.
Yeah,
they're just red stones charged by Father.
No, it never is explained in Brotherhood.
Wild. I did not realize they didn't do that.
I wanted to show her Madoka Magica, but I want to show that to Josh too, so I don't want to I want to get both of them.
I don't know if Madoka Magica is something I could pitch to Dorothy.
I don't know what the fuck to show Sarah anymore. She hated Bochi the Rock. She liked
Delicious in Dungeon.
Yeah, she's vegan. Her vegan friends like it.
They eat mushrooms.
I know, but it's like Sarah, I tried watching cooking shows with Sarah, and she's like, this is fun, but like, most of this literally doesn't register as food. Like, she can't even watch like a steak being cooked. It's not like she'll feel guilty. She'll just be like, that's not food. Like, that's like cooking. Yeah, it's like cooking a rock.
Yeah.
So I was like, well,
the first thing they eat is a dungeon or as a fucking mushroom.
Yeah. I guess her vegan friends do like Delicious in Dungeon, so maybe I'll show her that.
It's funny and it's cute.
But right now I'm like balls deep into Freerin. I just ignited the spark of Full Metal. I feel like it's weird to be like, let's jump ship again.
Yeah, that's fair, I guess. You know, grit your teeth through all 65 episodes trying to tell her that Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is better than she thinks it is. Yeah. Show her Death Note.
I know.
Girls love Death Note.
I can't tell. I can't tell if she'll like find it annoying. Anyway, we're talking about DanDaDan. Any other thoughts? Yeah, baby. I loved it. I loved the opening. I love a rap. I love a Japanese rap.
Yeah, it's Creep Nuts. Creepy Nuts. They're very good. It's not as good as Mashal's. It's not as good as their bing bong bong bing.
Listen,
bong, bing, bong,
this
bong,
opening is like 3 songs mashed together.
Yeah.
I like the first song.
I like the second song.
Whoa. I like the first one. The first one's got like a growl to it. I don't know the words, so I'm not gonna make any up. But
it's
like,
just
no, but it's like,
it's different. That's literally it.
No, he raps in the beginning.
They love a high pitched squeak in the back of their songs.
Yeah.
It's good. It is good. It's probably the best OP from this season. At least from what I heard. I didn't like anybody else's OP. Like DanDaDan's was good. Uzumaki doesn't really have one. Blue Locks is mid as hell. Bleach's is fine.
My Hero sucks.
My Hero sucks.
I hate it every time I hear it.
I skip it every single time. It's just soulless J-Rock. And that's kind of exactly what Blue Locks is. It's just soulless J-Rock. But this one's good. I'd say, my first note was dub and sub at the same time. Love the voice actors. The manga gets way like, I very incorrectly wrote, the manga gets way less dick focused after this. It doesn't. Kick out of the phone, good. Really good use of color. Really good use of POV and camera angles for action.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to say. Like, they do such a good job of, dynamic shots, and they make it, things that you can really only do with animation. Like, you can't have, somebody, kicking out of a phone and shooting across with, a jet-powered kick in, live-action television. So you need to do it well in animation. It's so good. It was absolutely gorgeous. It's living up to the hype, and I'm very happy for it. This is going to be one of the most popular animes out there. Should we play our Scooby-Doo game?
Fuck. Is there time?
What do you mean, is there time?
Well, I just mean, this has been long.
We're an hour and...
40 minutes?
Yeah, we're about an hour.
Or should we punt it to next week?
Do you want to do Best Boy and Flashbacks?
Sure.
Do you have a Best Boy?
Yeah. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. It's awesome. It's so fun. It feels great. Mm-hmm. It's just got a great, you pick it up and the movement's super fast and, it just feels how you want it to feel. It is interesting because excuse me.
There we go.
Right now, there's this interesting kind of discussion going on because it's so reminiscent of a PS2 game in every regard, including...
Except doesn't look like one.
Except it doesn't look like one,
yeah. Which
is great. But in every regard, including the fact that the campaign is unnecessarily hard as hell.
I scrolled past you starting that video and I was on a plane so I couldn't watch it. What's going on? Is it when you had to fucking you had the scroll to get in front of Piccolo's laser in the first
with
one?
Raditz. Yeah, it's shit like that where it's you'll get into a fight and the first 3 fights you do are a cakewalk and you're okay. And then the next fight out of nowhere, you can't hit the guy. The dude's just wiping the floor with your ass. It's so grade 8 Vegeta's tough. You got to fight all 5 Ginyu members with Goku alone.
Oh, so you're doing the DBZ storyline?
Yeah.
That's, I thought
it's the whole thing. It goes
it's
into
DBZ
super. Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's it's so fucking brutal, but in a way, if someone was I hate this game, it's too hard. That's okay. That's fair.
Not with Dark Souls or Black Myth Wukong, where people are just get better at the game if you want to review it.
Yeah, this is broken and cheating. The NPC is cheating.
No way.
It's they're just dodging in ways that you can't dodge. But and again, if people complain about it, I'm that's valid. Mm-hmm. As someone who grew up with these games and grew up wanting to break their fucking controller against a wall, I'm oh, I'm back.
It's kind of an authentic experience.
Yeah.
You're oh my God, I'm in the basement on a 12-inch LCD screen.
Yeah.
And I am furious.
Yeah. My friend Kyle, who's the one I used to play the Budokai Tenkaichi 3 with growing up, he and I got this game. And he was texting me all last night. And he was dude, I just spent 2.5 hours trying to beat the entire Ginyu Force. This is impossible. Mm-hmm. And I was we're back, baby.
There was this one fight, and I think it was either Naruto Ninja Storm 4 or 3, where you would have to battle all of the tailed beasts in one life bar, and it was fucking impossible, dude. You had to beat I think you were fighting as Kurama, so in the Storm games you usually fight as ninjas, so you have move sets, you have combos, and this one you're just fighting as Kurama, who has 3 fucking moves, and you have to beat every single one of the tailed beasts back to back to back to back, and it took me hours to beat. It was infuriating.
Yeah.
Something about Bandai Namco or those Japanese made games, they're just we're gonna make a simple mechanic and just make it impossible.
Yeah.
Something it's because it's not like a Dark Souls game or Black Myth Wukong or one of those Souls where it's oh, I need to learn the how they move. I need to learn their move sets.
It's tough but fair.
Yeah, this is oh, I just need to get lucky or lock the fuck in.
That's exactly what this is. It's luck and lock.
Yeah.
It's I'm getting through it. You can beat it, but it's just I'll die to things and I'm oh, that's just bullshit.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah, and I just have to be okay with it. I wonder how people who are playing this as their first one are dealing with it.
It's so interesting because usually when I do a video like this where I'm like bitching about something in a game, all the comments are like, oh, get good, or like, oh, imagine this. Like, I did a different bitch video about Dragon Ball where in an online private lobby, where you pick 5 characters to play as, you get 45 seconds total.
Oh my God.
To pick 5 out of 182 characters. You get 45 seconds.
Jesus Christ.
And every time it's just me and Kyle, like, fucking gripping our chests, like, where the fuck is meta cooler?
Yeah.
And I made a video about that, and people were like, maybe just go into it knowing who you want to play, pussy.
And it's like, well, aren't you trying to choose based off who the other person is choosing as well? Because it's like, it's not fair. Like, it doesn't scale. So you have to be like, oh, he chose Gogeta. I have to choose fucking Vegito.
Well, it's also like, if it's a private lobby, it's so fun to just be like chatting with your friend and be like, who are you doing? I'm going to do this. And like, just browse. I did that video. Everyone called me a bitch.
Who are we rushing in a private lobby?
That's what I'm saying. Like, don't just get rid of the timer.
I invited this person.
Like, we're on good terms.
Yeah.
But like, everyone called me a bitch. This one about the difficulty, all the comments are like, dude, I can't beat the Cybermen. Like, the Cybermen are
Cybermen, neither could fucking Yamcha. Yeah, that's the issue.
Yeah.
My best boy is Brian Resrios. Because he got married, my tattoo artist.
Oh, nice.
I was up this weekend at a wedding in Bodega Bay.
Nice.
In NorCal, about an hour and a half north of San Francisco. It was fucking gorgeous.
Yeah,
The wedding was fantastic. The wife looked gorgeous. The bride, Lena, is a friend of mine, the lady he got married to. And it was awesome. It was really, really cool. His family runs, her dad is the lead singer of this metal band called Primus, but they run, do you know Primus?
This metal band called Primus. Yeah, of course I know Primus.
Yeah, and they run a vineyard, and so we did like a after party at their wine tasting house. It was great. It was awesome spending time with all of them. I bought $730 of anime trading cards.
Oh yeah.
I got a $370 trainer pack.
Why'd you do this?
Because I wanted to open them on live. I was like, I've always, we're always talking about how we just want to open cards. I was saying maybe you and me, we do a little live.
Yeah.
And we just rip them, baby.
Did you like it when we did it on the pod?
I was thinking we do like a separate live stream.
No, but I mean, like, did you enjoy that experience?
We did it on the pod.
We did it once.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know.
I did enjoy that experience.
Okay, that's all I'm asking.
I'm saying we're going to do it different this time, though. We're going to up the production value.
Sure.
Yeah.
For what? The pod or AnimieIRL or what?
We can do it for the pod.
Yeah, it's probably not an AnimieIRL thing.
No, God.
We opened cards in real life.
Yeah.
We just were.
I spent $1,000 on fucking Pokemon cards. So I got a Unified Minds trainer box. I got the new Hunter x Hunter TCG, and I got like a real expensive fucking 12-pack from the One Piece TCG.
Wow.
And I'm itching.
I'm hyped.
I'm itching to open them.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited. When I bought the Pokemon, like when I bought them all, the guy at the card shop, he was like, "You gonna rip these?" And I was like, "Yeah."
In front of you.
Yeah. He was like, "You gonna rip these?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Oh, they're worth more if you don't." And I was like,
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Shut up.
Because in 12 years, this is going to be worth $200 more. No, I'm going to open them and be like, oh, I didn't do that good. And then I'm going to throw them out. Leave me the fuck alone.
I'm going to throw out my cardboard like an adult.
Oh, this $370 trainer box is going to be worth $600 in 12 years. Cool, I have to move it to the next 5 houses I live in and hope I don't step on it at some point. Fuck off.
Dude, I hate that shit. I was at like a trading card convention once with Daniel, and Daniel and this dude Caleb, who's like a content creator, and it was like all like trading card gurus with like fucking 50 like first edition Charizards in their cases. And they're all selling for like $500, and I was like, man, it sucks that this like there are so many children out there who love Charizard and just can't have this card because like adults have stocked up the prices. Yeah. And Caleb was like, yeah, like there are 5 guys in here who just control the Pokemon card market and decide which cards are gonna be valuable. Yeah. And he's like, they just buy up all the cards of the set and then like keep buying those ones until they're expensive. And I'm like, What an evil industry. That's for kids. Like,
Fucking sick. Dan, that's
I
kind
thought
of...
you would like
Could
that.
you imagine being the dude who dictates the Pokemon economy?
Being the literal, like, card Yakuza.
That's so fucking dope.
That should be you with
we
the
should
Hunter
kill
x Hunter
them.
cards.
We should kill one of them. We should absolutely
I'm
take
down
their
for
flesh.
that.
Oh, man, that's the life I want to live. That's the life I want to live.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope. Do you have a flashback?
The Uzumaki thing, do you?
What's the Uzumaki thing? Oh, as in like...
The producer pissed?
Yeah, it's like, hey, you deserve a better product. Yeah. No, I don't have news, but I could have news. I absolutely could have news. Oshinoko Anime gets 3rd season. There we go. Did it.
Nice. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure hits its next arc in 2025 in the manga, and it's getting animated in 2026.
Yeah, JJBA fucking pumps out their manga arcs like into anime so quickly, and it's actually like pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, that brings us to our favorite part of the show, where me and Danny poll our incredible live audience. 51 of these people hanging out with us now at what is 1 a.m. East Coast time. Thank you guys for being here. We poll our live audience to ask us a question in a section we lovingly know as love letters. So if you've ever wanted to ask me and Danny a question live, or watch the podcast live, or get the podcast 2 days early, or ask us a question that we answer here live on the podcast, you can become a Patreon member or a YouTube member for as little as $4.99 a month and support me and Dan in our endeavor to be the greatest anime podcasters of all time. So iBugman asks, what bending style would each of the members of the Mystery Gang have? I have answers.
I don't care.
I have answers on deck. Oh
I don't care.
How do you not have answers on this? First off, so easy. Shaggy Airbender. He's a stoner. All right, he's always chiefing down smoke. Yeah. If he could airbend, like the smoke tricks Shaggy would do with airbending. You think
Shaggy's doing vape tricks with airbending?
He'd just be in the back, just like pushing out rings. He'd be like, "You guys seeing this?" Shaggy airbending. For me, Velma, super easy.
Shaggy's just in the Northern Air Temple, like, why is it getting so hot in here, man?
I'm starting to trip out. Scooby's a tough one. But I feel as though Scooby is the closest thing we're gonna get to a badger mole, and so I'm thinking Scooby's an earthbender, right?
That's fair. You know what? I'll also add evidence to Shaggy. He's always doing that run.
Yep.
That's an airbender's run.
They're all kind of doing that run, though. That's the thing. They all have highly 300, like mobile 360 degree
gyroscopic hip joints.
Yeah. I'm thinking Fred, firebender, or an earthbender.
I was thinking earthbender.
Only because earthbending would make it easier to make traps.
I was thinking You're so good at this.
I'm really doing my best here.
I was thinking earthbender just because of his width, just because of his raw girth.
Just like a D1 linebacker.
Just because he's huge.
Yeah.
Firebender is so interesting because he does have that like preppy, like daddy's boy kind of vibe, but I like the idea of him just like sinking holes in the ground.
He's also the most technologically advanced out of all the members of the Mystery Gang.
Golly, Nick, you've got this on lock.
I'm locked,
all
dude.
right, Velma.
Waterbender, come on.
Okay, fair.
That's so easy. That's a layup. She's based, like, you could absolutely see her being like, oh, first off, she can make spectacles with ice. She could like,
can you?
Yeah,
can you make prescription ice?
She could. Yeah, you can make like a convex or a concave lens.
Okay.
So whenever time she's always losing her glasses, she's like, let me get this fixed up real quick. And then last but not least, Daphne, firebender.
Firebender, yep.
Dude, like the
easy firebender. She's so Azula coated.
She is Azula coated. Yeah. Oh my God, you're right.
Yeah.
So, final note, Shaggy airbender, Scooby earthbender, Fred earthbender, Daphne waterbender.
Nope.
No, Daphne firebender, Velma waterbender.
I hate that you really salvaged this bit.
Yeah. The second I heard it, I was like, I know exactly. Here's a real screwball for you.
Okay. Who's Ghost Clown?
What is Tar Monster? Tar Monster, surprisingly, Tar Monster airbender.
Yeah.
No. The little one.
Scrappy? Firebender? Yeah, for sure.
Well, doesn't he do a whole thing where he like rides around on ice? No, they ride around on ice behind him. They bust out in the second live action movie. Don't they like bust out like a fire hydrant and they like use it?
No, they ride the tar monster with that.
Is that what they do? Gotcha.
Yeah, they like freeze the tar with it.
Yeah.
Which is nonsense.
That's just not at all. It's like not that cold.
Dude, I know this has nothing to do with anime. Mm-hmm. I'd love to do an anime IRL video that's like, can we make prescription ice?
Yeah, you want to... I can get us there.
It's just funny.
I can get us there.
It's a weird idea.
We just have to
Just
make a bunch of
weird,
molds.
bad idea.
We made ice glasses.
Yeah.
And it's like because like Mythbusters did the ice bullet thing.
Yeah.
And that was like one of my favorite episodes of all time. So we like walk around with ice glasses to see like how long our prescription lasts.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Did it work? The ice bullets?
No.
Rats. They explode.
It just melts immediately because inside of gun hot. So hot.
But what if you put it in and shoot it fast?
It's not not the like, oh, inside of gun hot. It's like fire gun hot.
Yeah. Wow.
Fire gun explosion. You can do an ice. I think you could do like I don't remember exactly what they included, but I think like an ice cannonball would work.
That makes sense.
But then they'd be like, how the cannonball size hole get in this fucking man's chest?
Yeah, what a riddle.
Yeah, the only thing with like an ice bullet is like, oh wow, where's the wound? How did he die? And it's like he's just like got like fucking his whole chest out his ass.
Where's the rest of
Yeah,
them?
where's the rest of him? He's split in half. All right, that's all we got for this week, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you go ahead and follow all the social media pages that me and Dan run together, like AnimieIRL, this, and maybe become a Patreon member. Me and Danny just reacted to Scooby-Doo Cyber Chase. So if you want an additional 2 hours of content that's not me and Danny playing a video game, and rather us watching a movie with you, mind you, because it's behind Patreon's paywall and we can basically do whatever we want there, then go ahead and become a Patreon member or a YouTube member. It's going to be on both the platforms. Dan, you got anything to tell?
Nope, but that's coming soon.
Yep.
The Scooby video. And yeah, I'm going to fight Nick.
Yeah, oh, he's going to try.
Bye.
Okay, bye. Mwah.
And now for my next number, I'd like to return to the classics.